The Pilgrims celebrated their first Thanksgiving in a largely undeveloped land full of wildlife. My, how things have changed. Here are Mitch Butler and Josh Landis of the Fast Draw.
Aw, Thanksgiving, living off the fat of the land. But the land is not as fat as it used to be, right? I mean, all these buildings we've done, homes where there used to be trees. Compared to the old days, it must be tough out there for deer, beaver, wild turkey.
Actually, the good old days weren't always that good for America's wildlife, according to Jim Sturba, an author who writes about wildlife. Back when there was a lot of good wilderness for animals, we hunted and trapped them out. Up to 400 million beaver had fueled the fur trade, but only about 100,000 remained. The deer population plummeted to 1.2% of what it was, and turkeys? Just 0.3% of the original population was left alive. The call of the wild had become pretty quiet.
But just before it was too late for these species, Americans decided to act. A combination of government control and free market growth got nature back on course. Federal and state governments put limits on how many animals people could hunt and trap.
Industrial-scale farming took hold in the Midwest, so a lot of farms back east reverted to wilderness.
And then we sprawled. It turned out that suburbs aren't just picture-perfect for people. For animals, they're good enough to eat. In fact, acre for acre, suburbs can often support larger populations of animals like deer than old-growth forests can. That's because open lawns and gardens have lots of small young plants to eat, compared to a forest of tall old trees.
And since hunting is illegal in most suburbs, the wildlife has gone wild.
So today there are up to 12 million beaver building dams. As many as 40 million deer are roaming. That's more than there were when Columbus arrived. And this Thanksgiving, yes, there were lots of wild turkeys trotting around. But this free lunch for them is costing us.
According to one researcher, wildlife's economic impact on crops, home landscaping, car accidents, waterways, electric lines, and more is more than $28 billion a year.
Wildlife in America.
A comeback story that's come back to bite us.